John Milton, 1608–1674, was not only one of the greatest poets of the English language, but also a man of extraordinary resilience and intellect. One of the most fascinating facts about Milton is that he composed his masterpiece, Paradise Lost, entirely through dictation after going blind. He memorized long passages and recited them to his aides, proving his unparalleled mental discipline and poetic genius. A master of epic poetry and a defender of political and religious freedom, Milton's works have had a profound influence on English literature.
He is best known for Paradise Lost, but his literary career spans a wide range of poetry, prose, and political treatises. His ability to combine classical learning with Puritan values shaped much of his writing, making him a central figure in the English literary canon. John Milton was born on December 9, 1608, in London, England, to a prosperous scrivener. He was educated at St. Paul's School and later attended Christ's College, Cambridge, where he excelled in classical studies. Milton was deeply influenced by Latin and Greek literature, as well as the theological debates of his time. His academic prowess was evident early on, and he quickly gained a reputation as a skilled poet and thinker. Milton lived during a period of great political upheaval in England. He was a staunch supporter of the Puritan cause and the English Civil War, aligning himself with Oliver Cromwell and the Republican movement. His political writings, including Areopagitica, 1644, A Defense of Free Speech and the Press, and The Tenure of Kings and Magistrates, 1649, advocating for the execution of King Charles I, showcased his commitment to liberty and justice.
Milton's literary works can be divided into poetry, prose, and epic masterpieces. Here is an overview of his most notable works. L'Allegro, 1632. This poem presents a vision of a joyful and active life, celebrating nature, music, and the pleasures of rural existence. It contrasts with Il Penseroso, offering an optimistic outlook on life. Il Penseroso, 1632. The counterpart to L'Allegro, this poem embraces a contemplative, melancholic perspective, valuing solitude, learning, and deep reflection. Comus, 1634. A masque that tells the story of a virtuous lady resisting the temptations of Comus, a deceptive enchanter. It explores themes of chastity, virtue, and inner strength. Lycidas, 1637. A pastoral elegy written in memory of Edward King, a Cambridge contemporary of Milton. It blends classical and Christian imagery to express grief and hope for divine justice. Areopagitica, 1644. One of the most famous defenses of free speech, this prose work argues against government censorship of books and promotes intellectual freedom. The Tenure of Kings and Magistrates, 1649. A political treatise justifying the execution of King Charles I and advocating for the right of the people to depose a tyrannical ruler. Paradise Lost, 1667. Milton's magnum opus, this epic poem narrates the biblical story of the fall of man, portraying Satan's rebellion, Adam and Eve's temptation, and God's justice. Paradise Regained, 1671. A sequel to Paradise Lost, this poem focuses on Jesus' resistance to Satan's temptations in the wilderness, portraying Christ as the true Redeemer. Samson Agonistes, 1671. A tragic drama based on the biblical figure Samson, reflecting themes of loss, divine justice, and redemption. Of Education, 1644. A treatise proposing an ideal education system that balances intellectual, moral, and physical training to cultivate virtuous citizens. De Doctrina Christiana, unpublished in his lifetime. A theological work in which Milton presents his personal and often unorthodox Christian beliefs. Milton's life was marked by personal and political challenges. By 1652, he had lost his sight, likely due to glaucoma, but continued to dictate his works with the help of assistants. After the restoration of the monarchy in 1660, Milton faced persecution for his Republican sympathies and briefly went into hiding. Despite these setbacks, he produced some of his greatest literary achievements during this period. John Milton remains one of the most influential figures in English literature. His poetic innovations, theological insights, and political ideals continue to inspire scholars and readers. His commitment to intellectual and personal freedom, as seen in both his poetry and prose, solidifies his place as a towering figure in literary history. Milton's life was one of resilience, intellectual pursuit, and artistic excellence. Despite personal hardships, including blindness and political persecution, he produced some of the greatest literary works of all time. His legacy endures in the richness of his language, the depth of his themes, and the power of his vision, ensuring that his name remains immortal in the annals of literature.